Cracker Barrel makes every meal one to remember. Favorites like Sunday home-style chicken now available every day. And a sweet and smoky home-style chicken BLT for $8.99. Come on home to Scratch Made. Come on home to Cracker Barrel.
Whether your beauty routine is 3 steps or 57, make Nature's Bounty Hair, Skin, and Nails Step 1. It's the #1 brand uniquely formulated for silky hair, glowing skin, and healthy nails.
Keeping on like we're 16, dreaming of love. Got the wind in my head as I drive my car.
Lease the Infiniti QX60 for $3.99 a month. Plus, get a special summer bonus at your local Infiniti retailer.
Good morning, 5:54 is your time. Let's get that checklist of this morning's top stories. It was a deadly weekend in Prince George's County. 3 separate crashes in just critical condition. And in College Park last night, a motorcycle went through an intersection and hit a car. The driver of that motorcycle died at the scene. The battle to get those 10,000 steps is going next level. Fitness tracker Fitbit is taking a trick out of Apple's book, introducing Fitbit Premium. The new subscription concept hopes to make more money off users who already paid for a Fitbit. For $10 a month, the tracker will analyze your activity and come up with healthy programs. The old Fitbit focused more on just counting your steps and sometimes your heart rate. And looking for something to do this Labor Day, summer activities set inside from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Howard?
Well, we've got a muggy start in western Maryland. We've seen some showers, an isolated rumble of thunder, much more in Pennsylvania. We've got thunderstorms this afternoon, so that could certainly impact any Marcella.
Howard, nice and quiet this morning. Many people will have the day off today, that last day of that long weekend. Live look right now, no issues coming in inbound Kenilworth Avenue. That is really the case for much of the area. No issues to report in and around the Beltway.
All right, 5:56 the time right now. Larry Miller in after a long weekend. Larry, how was your weekend? You doing good, friend?
It was good. You know, we celebrated Evan's wedding this weekend, and so he is now a happily married man. The wedding was good. The reception was even better. But we had a really good time, and I'm really happy for him. So good.
Great.
All right, so coming up, we'll get up to see. Remember those Star Wars souvenirs that you weren't allowed to take on the plane? The new decision now out by the TSA. And RBG shows up at a DC event, showing the world that she's still strong and she's still kicking. That's our most DC. Next.
Don't go here to choose your car. Find it here. One price, no gimmicks, and pick up your car the same day. At Easton's Automotive Group.
Time to travel and save with today.
Generations, the Lavazza family has perfected the art of blending coffee for a smooth and balanced taste of Italy. Lavazza. It's how you say coffee in Italian.
Welcome to Toyota's National Clearance Event.
Been hearing a lot about some great deals.
Yes, with the great deals on the last of the 2019s and low APR financing options, it's a win-win.
What about me?
It's a win-win-win.
What about us?
It's a win. Yeah, win-win. Everybody wins at the National Clearance Event.
Right now, lease a Highlander for just $279 a month, or buy it with low 1.9% APR for 60 months, or get $3,000 cash back from Toyota.
Save on the last of the 2019s. Come in today.
Toyota, Let's go places.
You have a lot of deadlines in your business, right?
We miss deadlines, we don't get paid.
What if you lost your network connection?
You gotta be kidding me. Chaotic.
Our gig speed network lets you download files up to 20 times faster. And we go beyond fast with 4G LTE backup for complete reliability. So if you lose your network connection,
Reliable internet for a low price. Call 1-800-501-6000 today.
With rising stress in the modern world, a good night's sleep is nearly extinct. However, there's hope on the horizon. Every day, IKEA is designing sleep sanctuaries to save our sleep.
Time to travel and save with an auto loan from Money One Federal Credit Union. Rates as low as 2.74 annual percentage rate and get up to $300 in rebates on gap insurance and extended warranty. Visit moneynonefcu.org today.
Dorian unleashes havoc on the Bahamas as it inches its way toward the mainland U.S.
We expect that much of the eastern seaboard will be ultimately impacted and some of it very, very severe.
Dorian is now a Category 5 storm, but what does that really mean? We look into just how these hurricanes form.
We have an active shooter on the interstate.
A violent rampage starts with a traffic stop and ends with 7 people dead.
I basically heard her scream.
A Texas community coming together after yet another mass shooting.
Comedian Kevin Hart is seriously injured in a car crash. We'll have an update on his condition.
Injuries plague the U.S. Open's top players.
According to our little icon at the bottom. Good to see you. I'm Larry Miller in for Reese Waters. Today is Monday, September 2nd. Happy Labor Day to all of you. The big story this morning is Hurricane Dorian. With sustained winds of 185 miles per hour, the Category 5 storm has risen to the top of the charts among the most powerful ever observed in the Atlantic. Yesterday, it slammed into the Bahamas, leaving kind of destruction. And things we need to know about today's forecast here at home. Hey, Howie.
Hey, Larry. Good morning, everybody. We're tracking some showers and storms out to our north and west. You see them coming through Garrett and Allegheny and Washington counties, well north and west of D.C. So the one thing that today is that we're going to have a threat for those showers and storms, some of which could be on the stronger side. That threat will be mainly this afternoon into early this evening. Marcella.
Howard, the one thing you need to know this morning, it is nice and quiet. A quiet ride out there this morning. A live look for you right now. 270 southbound. No issues to report there. Larry?
All right, Marcella, thank you so much. 6:01. Let's get back to our top story this morning, Hurricane Dorian. Let's get the very latest on this storm system and where it's heading. Howard, what can you tell us?
Well, it looks like it is just about stopped over the eastern portion of Grand Bahama Island. This is the southeast Florida coast. This is Grand Bahama. This is Great Abaco, which got hammered, literally destroyed yesterday. Last night, this morning, we're seeing Grand Bahama Island. But notice here on the satellite how that eye is just about come to a stop. That's a 20-mile eye, and it looks like there's a concentric eye wall around it. So it's probably going through an eye wall replacement cycle, which does tend to low speeds on this. And we're seeing this on the radar. You can sort of see the main eye wall there, a secondary one farther around it. So really well-defined storm, that buzzsaw look, and doing a lot of unfortunate catastrophic destruction in the northwest Bahamas. The forecast from the Hurricane Center on the 6 a.m. report forecast to make the turn to the north. Now, the sooner it makes the turn, the farther it'll be from the Florida coast, the less of the impact. But still, hurricane warnings up because we could still have a dangerous Cat 4 off the coast of Melbourne, Vero Beach, Fort Pierce. As we go during the day on Tuesday night until Wednesday, it starts to move parallel to North Florida, and then Friday, finally. This is going to be one for the record books. And Larry, the only question is how bad and how total was the destruction in the northwest Bahamas?
Well, we know millions of people are getting ready. Howard, thank you. And we are beginning to get our first look at some of the damage behind from Hurricane Dorian. Matt Gregory joining us right now in studio with that part of the story. Matt?
Hey, good morning, Larry. This is the strongest storm on record for the Bahamas. It has the highest wind speeds since the 1935 hurricane on Labor Day. Think about that. For 2 days, this storm of that magnitude the Abaco Islands. Now, as the hurricane made landfall, this is what those winds look like up close. At times, there were gusts beyond 200 miles an hour. The storm surge brought the water 18 to 20 feet above normal tides. Now, the Abaco Islands are a chain of islands, and some of which are small sliver barrier islands. I've been there before, and when I talked to the locals there about hurricanes then, they said they see them every year, but nothing like this. This storm is completely different. It looks like a nightmare. Some of the only video we have of the damage is coming from more of disaster zones at this point. And this isn't up close inside one of the homes. You can see the roof has been stripped, angling, and they say these homes have withstood hurricanes for years, but nothing like this. The devastation bringing is unparalleled. And to get an idea of the size of the storm, this is what it looks like from space. This is the largest storm, or strongest storm rather, since the 1930s, and you can see it from our satellites, which picked it up moving slowly in that buzzsaw fashion across the Bahamas. Howard was talking about that earlier. It's moving slowly, but it's just so powerful in there. Now, as we discussed earlier, it's amazing that we even have video to show. The storm has basically knocked out all power and communications across most of the islands left in its wake. Now, coming up at 6:30, we're going to hear from President Trump on what his administration is doing to prepare in the face of Hurricane Dorian. Larry?
All right, Matt, thank you. Our Bruce LaShan is in Jacksonville, Florida to cover Hurricane Dorian. You can head to his Facebook page or check him out on Twitter, where he's sharing his images from on the ground. 6:05 is your time. Let's get on over to Gio with this morning's other top stories.
Larry, police are still looking into a motive behind a deadly mass shooting over the weekend. Police say a man went on a violent rampage after a routine traffic stop in Odessa, Texas. That was on Saturday. The 7 people killed were remembered at a vigil last night. Investigators say 8 were also injured, at least 22 other people in a fit of rage before officers killed him. The 7 victims who died ranged in age from 15 to 57. President Trump called Saturday's shooting a wicked attack. The president says he's committed to working with Congress now on ways to prevent mass shootings, but wouldn't say what, if any, gun reform he would support.
Mr. President, on gun control, are there any specific gun control measures you will support?
Yeah, we're looking at the same things. We're in the process of dealing with Democrats, Republicans. They've been working very hard on it.
After the El Paso and Dayton shooting on tougher gun laws, but didn't go into specifics. And the Transportation Security Administration has reversed its decision to ban Star Wars-themed Coca-Cola bottles from flights. Disney sells the bottles that look like thermal detonators exclusively at Star Wars lands in Anaheim and Orlando. TSA banned the souvenirs from carry-on and checked bags last week, saying they looked too much like replica explosives. But the TSA changed its mind, now saying they'll be allowed as a carry-on item, but they must be empty. That's because the bottles are larger than 3.4 ounces. And if you want to leave the souvenir unopened, the TSA says it'll allow the soda in checked baggage. So there you go, Larry. If you ever go down to Orlando, you don't need to put it in a FedEx box and ship it back to yourself.
Yeah, well, that's not an unreasonable ban, right? It looks like a bomb.
It does look like it, right? It's modeled specifically after
water bottle, my Evian water bottle on the plane. The bomb's not coming out.
That's your brand. That's your brand of water. You just figured that out.
All right, 6:07 is your time. Trending this morning, comedian Kevin Hart is recovering after a serious car crash in California. And officials say that Hart and another woman were passengers in the car driven by a man named Jared Black. Now, Black was driving Hart's 1970 Plymouth Barracuda early yesterday morning when he lost control. They went off the road, rolled down an embankment. Hart and Black reportedly sustained major back injuries.
Police also saying Black and another female passenger were trapped in that car. Hart reportedly got out of the car, and a member of his security team showed up and took him to his home nearby to get medical attention. He was eventually treated at the hospital. Officers say Black was not under the influence of alcohol at the time of the crash, and it's still unclear what exactly led up to that crash. And given the images and everything, when you first see the story, I was a bit frightened as, oh no, what actually happened? So it's fortunate that everyone looks like they're going to be okay.
Unfortunately,
and everything.
It'll be interesting to hear from him. He's very vocal.
Gio, good morning, everybody. Tracking some showers and some thunderstorms this morning up in Pennsylvania. The tail end of that line is kind of to northern West Virginia and parts of western Maryland as well. We've seen a stray shower east, but really coming through Cumberland and Oakland and accidents here in Garrett County, going right through Flintstone over toward Hagerstown with some light showers now trying to clip the Catoktons in northern Frederick County. We've got temps this morning from the mid-60s in the Shenandoah Valley. Low 70s here in town, upper 70s on the bay, and that's about the same as the Chesapeake Bay temperature there in Annapolis. You see some of the clouds reflecting the light this morning. We will have some scattered showers and storms this afternoon, so please stay up on the weather if you've got any Labor Day plans. Warm side with highs in the mid to the upper 80s. Let's check in with Marcella to find out, and I think we know the answer if there's any problems on your morning commute.
Yeah, of course, a busy travel day, but right now things are pretty quiet. Live look for those 6 stations south of Reagan National will be open next Monday.
All right, Marcella, working hard this morning. Thank you so much. Coming up on 6:10, how you heard, defending champion, #1 seed in the world, Novak Djokovic, In his run in the U.S. Open early, he stopped playing during his fourth round match last night because of shoulder pain. Now, this means there's no chance of a semifinal rematch between Djokovic and 20-time major champion Roger Federer. Meanwhile, Serena Williams is pushing through her pain. She rolled her ankle during the second set of a U.S. Open victory, but she's still set to play in the quarterfinals tomorrow. Now to one of the most unusual penalties you'll see on the football field. Jackson State's mascot